Haribol.
Waiting for this is also transcendental.
Okay. So we are live.
Okay.
And here we go.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hi, Prabhupada.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Son of the whole world.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hey,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hi,
Okay.
brother. That was a little extra, no?
It was 10 minutes. Okay, so Narayan, you wanted to read from Nanda Kumar?
Yeah, that would be nice. It's on topic, very much on topic.
Okay.
This is before things disintegrated unrecognizably. When I was in New Vrindavan, this is 1971, right? And when I was in New Vrindavan in 1986, he had just joined a hippie commune at New Vrindavan that was producing organic vegetables. And it was very nice because all the other vegetables were brought in cases from Pittsburgh. So anyhow,
Bhakta Peter, would you like to read? You have to unmute yourself.
you're a good reader.
What I read next? I'll read next, okay?
Okay.
That way I can get ready.
So Rupa, you can read,
Okay.
but read loud and clear.
Okay. Nanda Kumar Das. So very important. Thanks so much for sharing this. I was blessed to travel with Srila Prabhupada for a year and a half in the early 70s as his cook and personal servant. On many occasions, he would call me to his Vyasasan during a kirtan where the leader was singing a concocted melody or the mridanga player was playing a beat other than one he had taught us, and have me tell them to stop immediately. Then, when everyone was in stunned silence, wondering what had just happened, Srila Prabhupada would lovingly correct us and tell us how important it is to keep everything, including recipes, deity worship, his books, and everything else, just as he taught us with no changes. When people would praise his divine grace for the great work he was doing, he would always humbly say the same thing. Thank you for your kind words, but it is not me who should get the credit. It is my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the previous acharyas in our disciplic succession, and ultimately Lord Krishna himself. My only qualification is that I didn't change anything and kept everything just as it is. That is where the real potency lies. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada.
Jai, that is an amazing statement. Very amazing statement. It's fairly short. Do you think you'd like to read it one more time? Just because it's so to the point? Do you think? What do you think?
I think I don't need to read it again.
Okay, well then we should go over, if you can get it up on the screen. We can go over it line by line, I think.
This is very interesting. It's very simple instructions that Srila Prabhupada is giving. And it seems like as time went on, he stopped correcting devotees and he let them continue as whatever deviant kirtans or madanga beats they were playing.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada taught us what we needed to learn to be able to deliver the world in its momentous hour of need. That we chose to do something else has borne all sorts of, you could say fruits, or like cancers or whatever, that have come out through the GBC, different gurus, etc. They're not even interested in, if they even said at the end of their horrible stuff, if they had said, what's it Prabhupada said right there? I don't have it in front of me. That they should have brought it back up.
So you're saying here that when Srila Prabhupada was present in the early days, he corrected people, and then after some time in like late 70s or mid 70s, he also did that. But after a certain time, he just went along with the program that they had
Yeah,
created.
because they had made it clear that they were not following him in any direct what sort of way.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. That here in 1971, Nanda Kumar is making a point that this deviations Prabhupada originally tried to correct. He was
Yes.
correcting, but after some time, he just went along with their so-called program, even though he was not satisfied with whatever program they were conducting. I mean, they were distributing lots of books, temples were being made, but it was
So that was the trade-off.
not according. Yeah,
That
that's
was
what
the
I'm trying.
trade-off.
Yeah, that was a trade-off, exactly. And
And
like direction
there was
of
something
management is there. Yes.
I read a few days ago something fascinating, and I don't know where I read it, but he said that when he came to America, he was surprised of the type of people that were attracted to his chanting. He had evidently thought there would be intellectuals, and scholars and people like that had
The brain's buzzing.
had their act together. And instead, he was given these crazy, crazy hippies. So he took crazy, crazy hippies, knowing that they would fail, but knowing also that if he trained them up, they would present Krishna consciousness more or less authentically all over the world. And now we're in a state of limbo. In this state of limbo, we are waiting for the other shoe to drop. We can't force Krishna consciousness onto the we can't force Krishna consciousness onto the people. We can't force Krishna consciousness onto the devotees or the gurus or any of these other people. They have to accept voluntarily. And when they've accepted voluntarily, then it will be sublime. Does that work?
Sure, voluntary basis. And they should accept also, what's being said. Prabhupada is saying the original instructions, which has been modified over the years, the past 40 plus years, to suit their needs.
Are we being recorded right now?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Because I have something on my screen that says that Rupa Manjari Devidasi has started the screen sharing. So are we on full blast?
Yes.
Okay. That's wonderful. So what's happening right now? Rupa Manjari Prabhu?
Well, I just read the statement by Nanda Kumar. So is there anything you want to say about it?
Well, I'd like to be able to see it though.
It's up on the screen.
Well, nothing's up on the screen. All there is a little thing going around and around saying Rupa Manjari Devidasi has started screen sharing.
But you don't see my screen?
Nobody's on there and nothing is on there.
Bhakta Peter, Ramachandra, Robert Barron, do you guys see my screen?
I see it, yes.
Okay.
What do you see?
I see the writing that you guys just read.
Okay, then why is it not coming through on my site?
I don't know.
I see it. So very important. Thanks so much.
Is this Dr. Robert? Who said that?
That was Bhakta Peter, I think.
Dr. Peter. Jai Prabhupada. Yeah.
Everything is very clear, but why is it the clear thing is so misunderstood? I mean, what's the difficulty to understand these things? I guess if you have an agenda or you want some material gain, some money.
Well, all I want to know is why I'm not in the group. Can you make an arrangement, Chandra Prabhu? What should I do? Should I try to rejoin? Wasting some
You
time.
you are in the group. You just gotta swipe your screen.
Okay, swipe my screen. But do you understand that I'm stuck here with a little thing going around, like an asterisk going around, saying Rupa Manjari, Devidasi, has started screen sharing, but it hasn't opened up for me.
Oh, maybe your side has frozen or something. Yes, you might want to sign out or just continue speaking. I'm not sure how you want to do it.
Well, how do I sign out?
Just click leave on the top right.
Oh, I don't have any, I can't approach anything. Well, I'm totally stuck. You guys might as well keep on going. I mean, if I can't get into the page, I can't get into the page.
Yeah, but it's very simple. Here, what he's saying is that the kirtans were not what Prabhupada had taught them. So Prabhupada
Yes.
stopped them and told them, okay, this is how you do it. Do it like I'm telling you how to do it. Or
Yeah.
how I've taught you to do it.
Demonstrated day in and day out without fault. Well,
So
he never faltered and he never created Zumba melodies or anything like that.
yeah, so I mean, it would be very simple to exactly follow what the Acharya is teaching, but they had some different understanding. Like I'm advanced after, I mean, most people joined in 66 to 2000, I mean, not 2000, 66 to 1977 is 11 years.
Yes.
Right?
Well, yeah.
So how in 11 years can one, replace the Acharya or replace his teachings or replace his kirtans or change his books? How, it doesn't sound proper or normal that, after 11 years, you replace his kirtan, his original books. Doesn't it sound a little too insane? I mean,
It sounds seriously insane.
yeah. I mean, just, I mean, some of us, or, many of us have been somewhat Krishna conscious. I joined in about 2008, 2009. Now I look at it, I still don't know anything about about Krishna consciousness or how to be a devotee, how can I even think about, changing Srila Prabhupada's books or replacing him with anything? It's like, it doesn't make any sense, but this is what these people did after 11, 12 years, 13 years. They have no idea what is the truth, what is reality, what they have been cheated out of. So it's a lot of unlearning they have to do. And
Unlearning and relearning.
yeah, unlearning and relearning. As time goes by, as the body gets older, it gets definitely harder and harder to assimilate all these things. If you have been taught wrong if been taught improperly for 20 years, and to forget what you have learned, it's going to be very difficult. And this is what we have. I mean, I was given an example of the so-called appointed, elected, voted-in gurus. Once they go to their next body, the so-called fake bogus GBC, they'll appoint new gurus. New gurus. Every 50 years, they will have new gurus. So just imagine, just look into the future, what's going on. It sounds crazy in itself already, doesn't it?
They already have a disciple of a disciple giving initiation.
Oh my God.
One of Suhotra Swami's disciples is now a guru.
Wow. So this is just, cutting out people from having a direct connection with the Acharya. If they have made an institution out of this guru business. So,
well, it's like making it into a religion. You can have a religion and you can have a Christ figure somewhere in the religion, but that doesn't make it bona fide.
Yeah, so wow. Suhotra Swami's guru. The disciple becomes a guru. Wow.
We can look at these people and we can disapprove or cluck our tongues, but to tell you the truth, if we stay on the truth itself, the way Nanda Kumar described, then we will have the potency to be able to change the minds of those. But if we go into where they are, we'll just go crazy.
No, we don't have to go where they are. We just have to point it out that here is Prabhupada and here is the change.
Yeah. So that we don't need to criticize.
So the change version will not last.
If we criticize what they're doing, we're going into their place.
Yeah, just have to identify that, okay, yeah, this is what Prabhupada said and this is what's happening. Make your next move.
All we need to do is follow the exact words of Nanda Kumar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Rupa Majaya and Ramachandra are both exploding meteorites.
It's a jellyfish.
Oh, exploding a jellyfish. Okay. Well, anyhow, what my suggestion is,
10 pieces.
when we see that there are these gurus and whatnot, instead of saying, oh, bogus guru, and this is bad, bogus guru, we just say they are preaching according to their own mentality, but it will not produce the effect that Prabhupada is looking for. We can make a clarification. If you want things to be the way Prabhupada, the way they'll work, if you want things to actually work, then we have to go and stick with Srila Prabhupada's sound vibration. Nanda Kumar in this page very kindly states what Prabhupada had him do. And we've all seen Prabhupada stop wild and rancorous kirtans. There's no point in it. There's no point in those types of kirtans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's not only Nanda Kumar. There was this, what was that? Ishan Prabhu also said the same thing. And there was this, what's that big guy? His name?
Ramananda.
Brahmananda, no. Buddhimata.
No, the
Buddhimata
guy,
also said that.
he
Yeah.
came to our place, Rupa. He's with Narayan Maharaj.
Yeah,
Somebody's
so
father- somebody's
he
father,
also said,
remember? He came to our place and was giving us really nice katha that you wrote down.
Bhagavat Maharaj.
Huh?
not Bhagavad, Buddhimata,
Bhagavat.
not Bhagavad. I'm talking Buddhimanda
You don't have
Prabhu.
Bhagavat Maharaj in mind?
No,
He's talking
That was
about
not-
Buddhimanta.
Who?
Buddhimanta. Yes. He also
Buddhimanta.
said that. Yeah.
So what is
he also said-
Buddhimanta up to?
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying, I guess. I'm
No,
saying that
trying to hear.
I'm saying that he also confirmed that they were doing unauthorized kirtans and Prabhupada told them to stop.
So Buddhimanta was doing unauthorized kirtans and Prabhupada told him to stop.
Yes,
Now, here's
Just like-
the big question.
just
How
like Nanda
long did
Kumar
he
is saying
stop?
here.
Or did he wait till Prabhupada was out of the room and do this unauthorized kirtan again? That's the real test,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Hello?
Ramachandra.
I can't hear him. Can you hear him, Rupa?
No.
Ramachandra, you've gone silent. Well, anyhow, we don't have to be silent.
But I shared a video about this sometime
Sure.
in. You hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
you were quiet for a while. What did
Yeah,
you
yeah. Okay. I'm saying that there's many devotees who have made this point that the kirtans were stopped and Prabhupada to chant what he had taught, and that they have made so many types of kirtans.
He did that quite a number of times. Now, my question is,
Yes.
why didn't the devotees that he corrected take it to heart and stick with what he said? You see, there's a,
Well, the natural thing is,
it's sort of like they didn't want to follow Prabhupada's style. They wanted to do their own style or some style they picked up somewhere in India. And the question is, why did they think that they knew better than the Acharya?
that's what I was saying. I was saying that this previously, that we've been somewhat devotees for 10, 11 years, and after that they changed the whole program that Srila Prabhupada has given, right?
Yeah.
That's what they did after
Well, they
10,
did.
12,
But
Yeah,
when Prabhupada did
1979.
it personally, he generally corrected it.
yes, yes.
So
I
my
mean,
issue
even that.
with Achyutananda is in 1970, 71, probably 1969, 70, and 71, he was busy bringing Gaudiya Math melodies into ISKCON and stating that those were more bona fide than Prabhupada's kirtans. Because
Everyone-
they came from what?
I mean, everyone at that time was out looking for their own, piece of the pie.
Well, they were delighted. They were turned on.
You know, At least it
To the
seems like it. Hansadura was,
Ansuruddha wasn't singing bona fide kirtans either.
yeah,
He
Hansadura was having,
chanted very nice kirtans, but they were not bona fide.
Hansadura was having his picture being worshipped. Achyutananda Maharaj was having his kirtans.
Yeah,
So many things.
Kirtananda, when I was asking him, you have all of these different melodies, where'd you get them? He said, oh, I make up part of them, and then some of them are from Jewish songs from my childhood and stuff like that. He wasn't even pretending to be bringing in bona fide melodies from the Vaishnava Sampradaya.
Sounds like you're making this up. Jewish
Yeah,
songs.
he was making it up.
Oh my. How can you
But he
make up?
was very
This
good. I mean,
melodies from my
when
bar
he chanted,
mitzvah.
he could make a very good presentation.
What did you say, Bhakta Peter?
So this melodies from my bar mitzvah.
What did he say?
Holy Krishna. They said this melody is from my bar mitzvah.
There you go. That sort of thing. And so, I said to Chidananda, Prabhupada has given us melodies, but we simply chant them. He said, because they're too simple. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. How many times can you do that? And he said, so we change it to something that can be made very exciting on the kirtan floor. I said, but it isn't coming from Prabhupada. But at that point, who cared? So he was busy doing that and polluting the kirtans. But then he and I went out to, in 1971, we went out to Mayapur, and we got everything set up for the festival.
Oh, one point I'd like to make here is all these things that we are talking about, which was going on back in 1970, 71, 69. Now it's 2022. At that time, nothing was. Now we're seeing it with hindsight. It's easier to look at it now, right? I mean, I guess you complained about it, but you never did anything about it, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, in 73, when I came back to Los Angeles, Karanda put me in charge of bona fide Prabhupada kirtans in the temple because I requested. Mangalananda and all those people were busy trying to popularize their record and stuff like that. And Krishna Kanti. And they really hated me because I got them off the stage completely. And then I built a Lord Chaitanya, Mayapur style, about 12 feet tall. And then we'd surrender, Danavir, who became a guru, Danavir would go out with a truck and come back with greens, branches. And so we'd have the Lord Chaitanya standing in the middle of the stage. And then we put all the green trees around him. Then we had garlands, of course. And it was very, very nice, very, very exciting environment. And then we chanted only Prabhupada kirtans because I was in charge and I would not allow any other kirtans to be chanted. So Danavir and I went with before we had kirtans, went with all the kirtan musicians, or whatever you want to call them, bhaktas, and we taught them exactly how to do Prabhupada's drum beat, kartals, and Swami step, as well as the mridanga. Yes?
The melody.
And the melodies. Perfect melodies. Yes. And so you say I didn't do anything about it. Well, a year and a half later, when I was in Los Angeles, I did something about it. Then Agni Dev came, full of his people. Afro-American people love to get into different types of melodies. And so he came in and he was a top expert in all the bogus melodies that Achyutananda taught. And he came in and said, Narayana, I want to lead kirtan and new melodies from Mayapur. I said, well, no, we don't do those. All we do is Prabhupada melodies. He was outraged and horrified that why would I restrict using the Bengali melodies from Bengal just so it would be authentically Prabhupada. So he went to Kurandar and said, Narayan won't let me chant the melodies I want to chant. And Kurandar looked at him and said, well, Narayan is in charge of the Kirtan program. So whatever he says goes. So he came back to me several times trying to talk me or bully me into it. And I wasn't having it. I'd already had that sort of movie in Calcutta, where you're saying
Right.
that I didn't say anything. Well, I did say things.
Oh yeah,
But
you
then-
did say that, right. You told me
Yeah,
this before,
but
yeah.
then I came back to USA, and for like almost a year, we had nothing but bona fide Prabhupada kirtans, Prabhupada Swami step dancing, and Prabhupada everything. And it was sublime. The people came, Karandar was worried because he had Mangalananda and all those people leading kirtan, sort of like rock and roll kirtan. And a lot of people came, like 250, 300 people would come to the kirtan. And our experience with Sunday program kirtans is that maybe we get 25 or 30 maximum. So Karandar said, I don't want to give up that many people. So you're going to have to produce that many people if you want to change the melody. Otherwise, we're going back to Mangalananda and Krishna Kanti. So that's when I really put out the steam and worked very closely with the kirtan players and got them to play the mridanga perfectly, kartals perfectly, and the melodies perfectly, enunciated and done. So we started out, and I was very nervous because, we started out getting only maybe 60 people to our kirtans. But after a while, it went up and up and up until we had over 500 devotees in our kirtans, chanting Prabhupada's original melodies. Many people had never heard them before. And we had the mridangas out amongst the kirtan, amongst the devotees chanting, amongst guests and devotees chanting Hare Krishna. And I remember standing next to a man. He was just an ordinary guy. He was not like somebody into yoga or anything like that. And he was standing there, and I was playing mridanga. And the way to play mridanga, you play mridanga to vibrate the heart of the persons around you. Why do you vibrate their heart? So that they can then, heart chakra will open. And the kartals also open the heart chakra. It's a no-brainer, really. Anyhow, that guy started chanting, and then he got swept up by the kartals. And as soon as he was chanting with the mridanga beat going into his heart, and I was playing the mridanga, nothing special, just nice Prabhupada mridanga style. When he was playing, when he was standing near me, say 5 feet away, and then the kartals caught on, he got caught up in the kartals, and next thing you know, he began to profusely weep. His eyes filled with tears, and he began to cry. Now, it was nothing that I did. It was nothing that the kartals did. It's that the kartals and the mridanga beat created an atmosphere in which he could then get the feeling of the kirtan. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Hello? Ramachandra?
Yes, it makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Okay, was Ramachandra there? Well, in any event,
It says he's here, but he's muted.
oh, I see. Okay, because he's the one who said why he did nothing about it to me. I'm saying what I did about it. And it was a transcendental experience for everyone that took part. So that went on for a while until who was it? Somebody took over with horrendous noise kirtans. But that was after Kuranda left. It was hideous. But we did end up with twice as many people as Krishna Kanti and all of the
bowels.
yeah. Are you there, Ramachandra?
I hear you.
Did you hear what I said about
Yeah,
how
yeah.
and how
I heard the whole thing. You tried to.
obviously not even
Yeah,
a
you tried to.
vegetarian. Tears shot out of his eyes. And that's what happens. Kirtan is designed to have that effect on people. And if it doesn't have that effect, then the kirtan isn't being done right. The
One
kirtan
guy
is to
was
open the
chanting and
hearts of the devotee.
What did you say, Ramachandra?
I said one guy was chanting Hare Krishna at the program, and after that he asked me, Ronald, how was my chanting? I'm like, your chanting was not even close to how Prabhupada chanted. So it's obvious that these people are doing kirtans for their sense gratification or to attract people to them. So
Yeah, they want to be like rock stars and they want to attract people to their program the way they do it. But what is the use of that? Oh, they're hearing the holy name. You can hear the holy name chanted authentically also, no?
How can the whole situation be changed? I mean, the masses of people are
Because we
ignorant of these things.
They should not even try to change it.
No, we're not trying to change anything, but we're trying to get the information out there.
Yeah,
but the
that's
masses
what we're
of
doing
people.
with this program. This program is designed to get information out there. That statement by Nanda Kumar is part of getting whoever's listening to this program and heard Nanda Kumar's statement will get an idea that if you want to do it, you have to do it according to Prabhupada's standard, not according to some made-up idea. See, I'm not here to criticize people who want to do weird stuff, because even when they're doing weird stuff, hearing the Hare Krishna mantra benefits the people who hear it to some degree. It's because they're hearing the Hare Krishna mantra. But it's not enough. It's not enough to bring them back to Godhead. It's not enough to carry on the movement for 10,000 years. That has to be done with complete sincerity. Does it make sense? Ramachandra?
Yeah.
Yes, makes sense.
Okay, so where are we going now?
Wherever you want to go.
Me?
Focus.
No, where does Krishna want us to go?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah. Are there any questions that have come up or statements?
Oh, Robert asked me a question. Robert, maybe you can ask your question and you'll get different answers here.
Maybe you could read it for me because I sent it to you.
Okay, let me read it one second.
What you're saying.
It's a little loud right here where I'm at, and there's going to be a lot of background noise.
Sure. Okay, Robert Prabhu is asking a question here, or making a statement. It's bewildering. It gets bewildering with how much stuff
you guys are so scratchy. I can't hear what you're saying.
Let me send it in the chat so Rupa can read it, because I'm driving. That's why it's causing a disturbance.
You're still driving?
Yeah, I'm getting home right now.
We hoped you were home by now.
I am home.
Okay, this is what Dr. Robert said. gets bewildering with how much stuff they have on Krishna outside of Prabhupada's teachings on Krishna. Reminds me of a story I heard on Prabhupada Memories. A reporter once said to Prabhupada, where they were in a room full of pictures of Krishna, and the reporter asked Prabhupada which one is Krishna, and Prabhupada answered, "It's all Krishna." I could be wrong about the story, but do you get my point? Or it's not all Krishna? Only Prabhupada could take you back home, back to Godhead?
Did you understand the complexity of that statement?
I don't really understand the question, honestly.
Okay, can you repeat the question, because everything is so scratchy, I couldn't hear the question.
Okay.
And anyone can answer it. It doesn't have to be me.
What I'm trying to say is there was a story that I heard on Prabhupada Memories, and there was a reporter interviewing him, and they were in a room full of pictures of Krishna, and the reporter asked him, which one is Krishna? And Prabhupada answered, they're all Krishna. And so what I'm trying to say is, going back to my question is, there's a lot of people that teach about Krishna outside of the disciplic succession. And so is it all Krishna, or is it only Prabhupada to take you back to Godhead?
Well, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He lives in Krishna Loca, and he's there with the cowherd boys, the gopis, Mother Yasoda, Radharani, and the Manjaris. So Krishna is not the issue. Krishna doesn't come and go, and Krishna is not someone you can believe or not believe in. He's there. The rest is up to us to try to find the pathway back to home, back to Godhead. But Rupa, could you go over those sort of things that he said?
Do you want me to read the question again?
His question?
Yeah, do you want me to read it again?
I'd appreciate it if I'm going to be part of
Okay. It gets bewildering with how much stuff they have on Krishna outside of Prabhupada's teachings on Krishna. Reminds me of a story I heard on Prabhupada Memories. A reporter once said to Prabhupada, where they were in a room full of pictures of Krishna, and the reporter asked Prabhupada which one is Krishna, and Prabhupada answered, "It's all Krishna." I could be wrong about the story, but do you get my point? Or not, it's not all Krishna? Could only Prabhupada could take you back home, back to Godhead?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so
he's saying that outside of Krishna consciousness, there are many pastimes.
Is that your son or daughter? Ramachandra?
That's
Well,
my niece. You hear me?
Nope.
That's my niece.
Outside of Krishna has been known in India at least 5,000 years from when he appeared in Vrindavan. But Krishna is known in general by people, devotees or sadhus, all since time immemorial. That doesn't concern us. What concerns us is being able to take shelter of Krishna in the words of the pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. We don't have to go outside of Prabhupada to understand Krishna. We don't have to go above Prabhupada or under Prabhupada or anywhere except to Srila Prabhupada. When we do that, we will find out that everything is the way it's meant to be. Because Prabhupada brought Krishna. You see, if you can imagine, the Krishna Loca is a whole domain that is in the spiritual sky. So when we're sitting here talking about Krishna, it's almost as though we're trying to materialize him or make him into an ordinary being. But he's not. He comes down, if he comes down to earth, if Prabhupada's kirtans are Krishna, then it's because he is in direct connection with Krishna as the Acharya, transparent by a medium. But he chants. Krishna's in that chanting. That's why that first record on Happening Record that we play at the beginning of each of our programs is so vitally important, because that sound vibration is coming from Krishna Loca. If people want to make up their own melodies, those melodies are not coming from Krishna Loca. Do they want to chant things that don't come from Krishna Loca? Well, weirdly and sadly, a lot of people do. They want to, because if they chant something from the material world, they're going to get people to follow them in the material world, and they'll become a guru and then get lots of fame, name, fame, and money and everything like that without taking anybody back to Godhead. So that's why it is such a dangerous thing in our ISKCON movement right now. We need to concentrate on getting Prabhupada's sound vibration as the only sound vibration. People chanting other things will not accomplish anything. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
I mean, why would it make any benefit if people are chanting whatever they please? High school prom music, rock and roll music. There are senior devotees that have done amazing concerts that are with rock and roll and have made huge amounts of money chanting not Prabhupada melodies, and they still don't see anything wrong with it. As far as they're concerned, it's all one. But let me say for sure, it is not all one. It is one in the sense that Krishna is one, and it's one in the sense that Prabhupada is one. But when it comes to choosing melodies for kirtan, it's not all one. It is as Prabhupada chanted, and that's as far as it goes. How does that suit you? What do you think?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so we ourselves have to realize that we have only one source of sound vibration to deliver us. And that sound vibration isn't coming from Prabhupada, it's coming from Krishna Loca through Prabhupada. He is known as a transparent via medium. So when the transcendental sound vibration is chanted by Prabhupada, it's not originating with Prabhupada, it's originating with Krishna, chanting through Prabhupada so that everyone can benefit. That's how authentic it is. It's easy enough to have some sort of kirtan that's just, fun and games. But if you want to go back to Godhead, there's only one source, Srila Prabhupada. And what is the sound vibration of that source? The sound emanating from his lotus lips. There's no other way. And yet people have practically said that's the only thing that doesn't right. There's millions of different ways. And when I say there's no other way, the only person that agrees with me on that point is Srila Prabhupada. Does that make sense?
Narayan, Robert Barron was asking, I think more than just melodies, just Krishna consciousness in general.
Meaning what?
meaning that he's saying that different people have different opinions about Krishna, and which ones can he trust and which ones should he reject, I think is what he was trying to say.
Well, it's easy enough to get everything from Prabhupada.
Yeah, Narayan Prabhu just answered that question. That to stick to what
Mahaprabhu?
Srila Prabhupada.
Is Mahaprabhu on?
No.
Sad. Okay, so what is the issue? Why is there an issue? Isn't it simple? Prabhupada came not from India, but from Krishna Loca. He has brought us the melodies from Krishna Loca that the acharyas sang. He brings the tonality that he hears Krishna creating and resonating. He hears Krishna making the sound vibration, and he transfers that sound vibration into our hearing range. It's up to us to recognize that that is as far as we need to go, right?
Well, people, you have to understand, people are coming to Krishna consciousness through, this so-called crazy world. So they are thinking probably that everyone is talking about Krishna. Who do I believe? Why should I believe Prabhupada? What if the other guru is speaking about Krishna? Why can't I take his version of Krishna consciousness?
Where did other gurus get their connection with Krishna?
Well, that's
question. You're certainly qualified to. I'm talking too much, and I'd rather you talk a lot more than you're doing.
no. I'm saying that people are asking, why should we believe the Prabhupada version of Krishna consciousness? Why not this yogi, that yogi? They're
So
also coming from India. He also. What's your or what statement you're trying to say, or what you're trying to say?
What is your answer to those type of people?
Why should they follow Srila Prabhupada? They don't have to follow
I'm
Srila
going with
Prabhupada.
what you said.
No, I'm saying they don't have to follow Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada never
Well,
said you should follow
what
me.
will be the result for them if they don't?
That's it can be anything. It could be like they go crazy, or they it won't be a favorable result, or it won't be a Krishna conscious result.
Well, no, it won't. So how would you recommend to these, what would you recommend to these people asking that type of question?
Well, why don't you try out Krishna consciousness first of all? You don't have to accept anything Prabhupada is saying concretely in the beginning. Why don't you read the books, and then see if you can understand all these things. I mean, I'm just talking from my experience. I used to follow so many gurus, but at one time in my life, I realized, oh, all this other thing that I've been following is just nonsense. I have to give up this tendency of going here and there, follow this guru, that guru.
What was your attraction to those people?
Well, they were speaking Sanskrit. They were explaining Bhagavad Gita. I guess I had some tendency towards Sanskrit and the Bhagavad Gita and their explanations. So I had some inclination towards that. But after some time, I realized, okay, some light went on, and then I realized, okay, yeah, this is the person that I should.
Well, we have to distinguish. I mean, where are all these other people that you could hear from? What is their connection? What did you discover about those people that convinced you that they have a direct connection with Krishna Loca, that they are transparent via media, bringing pure Krishna consciousness down to your ears?
Well, at that time, I didn't have any practical understanding about systematic understanding about Krishna consciousness. At that time, I was very new. I was just going.
Did you not understand that Krishna is God?
I had, well, no, not back in 2007, 2008. Probably not. I knew Krishna was God in the theoretical sense, meaning that he spoke the Gita, and then he gave a teaching to his disciple Arjuna, and that's about it. A very
Yes, but
very
then
superficial understanding.
what is the origin and source of Krishna's potency?
Origin source, he is the origin and source by himself. Well, what do you
Well,
mean?
you're saying that now, but how about when you're not aware of these things?
Oh, I never got into origin and source, Oh, yeah, that was something that came, I
Even
understood through.
what does a person, growing up as you did, quasi-Hindu, of course, so many people are everything. I was quasi so many things. So when you grew up as a quasi-Hindu, what did you believe to be the origin of Krishna in the bigger field of Indian Sanskrit language fun and games? I mean,
that's a very good question. I did not have any practical understanding about Krishna nor Krishna consciousness. As a quasi-Hindu, I had practically zero understanding about quasi-Hindu stuff. I had more understanding about the Bible and the stories from the Bible than so-called quasi-Hindu Krishna, Rama, Brahma, Shiva understanding. Nothing. I knew nothing about it.
But if you heard the name Krishna amongst the Hindus, what did you feel? Where did you feel that person, Krishna, lived? What's his abode?
That was beyond anything that I had ever thought about, nor did I ever hear. I was maybe in 5th, 6th, 7th grade at that time. I didn't know these questions you're asking. I don't think a 6, 7 year person in 5th, 6th, 7th grade knows. At least I did not know.
Difficult questioning. Why I'm doing that is to say, all the people that were telling you what these things, what did they understand?
Well, I don't know what their understanding was at that time, nor.
Well, they shared it with you, right?
No, and I did not have a very strong inclination towards Krishna consciousness when I was 5th or in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Not till I was like 26.
No matter how you heard the name Krishna, that is partial Krishna consciousness. Because
yes, partial, yes, but philosophical understanding, no. You're right. Right now, you're asking for a philosophical understanding. I don't know. I have no idea, or some kind of explanation.
Philosophical. You can just say Krishna. Who is Krishna? Where does Krishna come from? That must have crossed your mind, right?
No, it did not cross my mind.
Oh, then what did you think Krishna was?
I heard about Krishna consciousness when I was like about 26, 27. I never heard about Krishna, just like we hear about Krishna in Prabhupada's books.
Aha.
How did you come across Krishna consciousness?
Oh, in school we were doing some comparative religion course study, and that invoked an interest about different religions or different traditions. So I took a global Islam class, and I thought, why not compare it with Hinduism, so-called Hinduism? And then I thought to myself, okay, let me do my search, and I found the Bhagavad Gita, and then I went on eBay, Bhagavad Gita, and I bought Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita.
Hey, you lucky dude.
And then I got the book. And then, after several years, the book was there. Someone else was reading the book. I think my dad was reading the book.
Giving him credit.
Was it an original edition?
Yes, I bought the original edition, 1972, but without the pork, just the translation and the original pictures. You know, the
Recently
version,
unedited, right?
1972 Macmillan, when they did not publish
You're breaking up.
the pork. So I
Voice
got
is-
that version.
You're coming in sporadic.
Yeah, you're
What did you
breaking
say?
up. You're breaking up.
Your voice is turning into a banjo string. Boing, 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 like that, you know.
Okay, now it should be better. I connected to the Wi-Fi. Okay, so yes, okay,
Sounds
it's
greatly
better now.
better.
Okay, great.
So the whole
Okay, yes. So what was the question? Yes, I got Prabhupada's original Gita. Yes.
transitioning
What-
from Indian culture to Hinduism to Krishna consciousness as it is coming from Prabhupada. I mean, that's a big gap and a breadth of activity. And it seems to me that lots and lots and lots of people are caught up in the Hinduification and they don't understand where Krishna is actually coming from, even if they read Prabhupada's books. So what I'd like to ask is, how can we get them to be more perspicacious? You know? How can we get them more on track? But so when did you realize that what Prabhupada was teaching is totally and utterly different than anything you ever encountered before anywhere, particularly India? Ramachandra.
Well, I'm not from India actually. I'm from Fiji. So,
Huh?
So I said I'm not actually from India, but I'm from Fiji. But
Well, no, but he has an Indian culture.
oh yeah, remnants of Indian culture. I was not too much involved in Indian or Hindu culture as a child.
No,
Did you-
no,
You
no.
know?
Did you
Explain
eat meat?
But
Yeah,
in some read Prabhupada's Gita.
Yeah,
did you
this
get
was much later in my late 20s or
that the
mid
Gita
20s.
you knowledge that was coming from a different source than the Indian word of mouth?
Yeah, the grandmother sampradaya. Yes, I was never into the grandmother sampradaya, as you call it.
Did you eat meat, Ramachandra?
Well, because
Oh
your
yeah,
grandmother wouldn't have
yes, yes.
necessarily-
I'm from a Malacha family too, so
Well, that's the point. But we're not trying to chase you down. We're trying to
I
see
know.
at what point did you realize that Krishna in the Gita, the Prabhupada wrote, is actually God, and that Prabhupada was in the attempt of hooking you up or linking you with Krishna?
Well, that probably sometime in 2008 till
Okay.
now.
What,
I'm
but
still
tell
learning.
me what was it like?
Oh, it was an eye-opening experience, meaning that I could, things finally made sense. Okay, life then made sense.
Okay, that sounds great. What parts made sense that hadn't made sense before?
God is a person just like everyone else. He's the supreme person, and we're just
Well,
insignificant persons.
Don't people generally consider Krishna as a person?
I don't think so.
What do they consider him to be?
There's beyond, and there's beyond Krishna. Remember that train ride you had?
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Krishna?
Well, yeah, but they don't disregard Krishna. They just say Krishna's not the summum bonum, the train ride, the grandmother Sampradaya. So what I'm really trying to get to, Ramachandra, is now that you have understood that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that you can get all the information you need from Srila Prabhupada. by his sound vibration, by reading, etc., etc. How different did it make you feel to know that?
Well, it was a gradual process, and the process that I went through, not everyone will necessarily go through that process. Some people might be blindly, accepting, but blind acceptance doesn't give any real understanding.
This is what we're getting to. Blind acceptance does not give any understanding.
Yeah, so I went through the motions, and then I realized, then by your association and Prabhupada's videos, things like this, so my understanding grew, and it's still growing. It's always, it's always a good experience, Krishna conscious experience.
Wonderful. And the Siddhanta?
Oh, the Siddhanta is making sense more and more now than ever before. So it was there.
Yeah, of course. It's there even in Hindu folk tales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's, you see, if we can understand how to get past the Hindu folk tales into the real Siddhanta of actual hearing and chanting and surrendering at Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, we will not have the equipment and the skills to bring others up through that extremely shortened path. So that we say, take my hand, and you bring them right up to Krishna's etus, through Prabhupada to Krishna's lotus feet.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Whatever I have assimilated and understood, if I can present it very clearly and very common sensely, people will come up right up to the speed. Like Robert Prabhu is coming up to speed very fast. He's asking the right questions at the right place at the right time.
So we're all doing the right thing. But now what I'm calling for is that we do all the right thing turbocharged.
Right.
Meaning that whatever we've learned, let's accept that we've learned it. Whatever you read in Bhagavad Gita, let's accept that that is what you read and that's what you learned and that's what you now understand. With that understanding in place, you can bring hundreds of millions of people to Krishna's lotus feet.
Right.
Does it make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
And what doesn't it sound extremely gratifying and pleasurable?
Yes.
We're so used to Krishna consciousness being a labor of love, where we have to do stuff and, but what if it's not? What if it is sublime? What if anyone who comes in contact with Krishna's lotus feet becomes exhilarated? We've talked about the Madhya Adhikari becoming the Uttama Adhikari many times, but this is the long version right here, what we're talking about.
Right.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
And we're going to have so much fun. And why not?
Krishna.
When we meet people, they should join us in the mood of fun. Robert, are you there, Robert?
Yes, he's here.
Yes, I'm here.
We want you to join the realization that Ramachandra just described that he obtained. Can you join that realization in the mood of pleasure?
Yes, I could enjoy it and realize it.
Yeah. Therefore, you see, Ramachandra, everything you've been through has been wonderful. But the thing to always be aware of is that when Prabhupada is chanting, like on that happening record, listen into it and you'll hear that he is connecting with Krishna while he chants.
Sorry.
It's not just that he's chanting and we chant and someday we'll be able to go back to Godhead. It's not like that. I'm talking too much. I had the idea, Ramachandra, that you were going to do the talking tonight.
No, Rupert is going to do the talking.
Okay, Rupa, you do the talking.
Rupa, you got 29 minutes.
Oh my God.
You can talk for 25 minutes, Rupa.
Okay, Rupa, we have some comments. Rupa, maybe you can jump through that. if you like.
Okay, sure. 1 second.
Let's greet comments as though they are as vital as a heart to be put into a transplant into somebody's chest. Every comment, we should take it as something totally vital, like a beating heart to be transplanted into a living person's chest. So let's go with the chat, with the comment.
Okay, 1 second. Oh, we've got a bunch of comments.
Wow.
Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, from Sumit Yadav, he says Hare Krishna with about 1 million red hearts.
Oh,
Danny 13947 says Hare Krishna. Saurabh Sahu says Hare Krishna. Naranarayan Prabhu, your internet is unstable. Where are you staying? You must have some broadband connection on home, Prabhu. Aristophanes.
getting scratchy from my side as well as your side.
Aristophanes says Hare Krishna. Saurabh Sahu says, does Lord Krishna or Lord Chaitanya say that only the kirtans of the true Acharya is bona fide? How you come to a so strong conclusion that only Acharya's kirtan melodies or sound vibration is only bona fide?
Well, what else could be bona fide? Our point is connecting with Krishna directly. What was the name of the devotee?
Saurabh Sahu.
Saurabh Sahu, Prabhu. Please accept obeisances and blessings. If you want to connect with Krishna, how can you connect with Krishna unless you connect through a transparent via medium? That transparent via medium for the next 10,000 years happens to be Srila Prabhupada. Now you think, oh, there's going to be millions of gurus. Oh, really? Why? One guru and kill him, murder him. Why would Krishna send more? To kill him also?
His comment here is suggesting or saying that why is Srila Prabhupada's kirtan, the Acharya's kirtan, the only sound vibration for is bona fide? So
And
I mean,
he also said Agni Dev's kirtans are millions views on YouTube, as well as Swarup Damodar Das. They are hugely popular.
so what? I say. I mean,
Well, is popular what we're up to?
that's a question in itself. No, we don't really care about popular this or that. Agni Dev is not an acharya or not the person that brought Krishna consciousness to America or to the whole world. I actually saw Agni Dev Prabhu at Berkeley Temple, and his kirtans, when you hear Prabhupada's kirtans, and his kirtan is, it doesn't even compare to Prabhupada's kirtans.
No, it's stylistic.
Yeah.
Kirtanista means a person who is a professional kirtan player, and often they get brought in from another temple or another place where they're living, and they're paid a chunk of money to come, and then they're expected to chant in such a way as to get everybody hopping up and down. But that's not what Prabhupada came here to bring us.
He didn't bring people hopping.
No, he didn't. He wanted us to dance Swami step. The people hopping are doing so because they paid for that guy to get them to hop. I mean, how difficult can that one be?
He's saying Agni Dev's kirtans are millions of views in YouTube as well as Swarup Damodar Das. They are hugely popular. But we don't care about who's popular.
Who's Swarup Damodar?
I have no idea.
Okay, but the
Or
point is,
Damodar Das.
do you know who he is?
No.
No idea.
Okay, well, whoever, if they can make millions and millions of people happy with what they chant, will those people go back to Godhead?
Not immediately. Probably take them some time to understand Prabhupada, and then they can go back to Godhead.
Yeah. In other words, they're being pushed to the side in the entertainment kirtan field,
Yeah.
and it will take them some time, maybe lifetimes, before they can connect the kirtan field of kirtanistas earning sleep and
Kirtanist.
and Prabhupada style standard, which is there on the happening record.
Try.
It's funny that he did so well, you know,
Hmm.
as that is the exact person that came to me and said he wanted to lead kirtan, and I said no, we only do Prabhupada kirtans here.
Oh, you mean Agnidev Prabhu?
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, otherwise he was sort of a friend, you know. I never had anything against him, but chanting, no, out of the question.
Okay, Saurav Sahu says, actually, Hindu is nothing short of Krishna consciousness. They don't understand difference of Bhagavan or demigods. Like my father, he likes Ramakrishna, so he thinks Krishna equals Kali. Indian culture or Indians are spoiled. It's so sad. But due to ISKCON, the Namhata program is increasing on interior villages, including my two relatives took initiation from ISKCON in one such Namhata program, but they are sort of naive. After taking initiation, they spread all over the villages that we join ISKCON, we going back to Goloka. All villagers
Are
think
there what? We joined this gun, we're what?
we're going back to Goloka. All villagers think they are mad person.
Well, it's true. They are going back to Goloka, but it, as Prabhupada said to me, but it may take some time.
Yeah.
Well,
We should
joining.
that going back to Godhead is something we do with a snap of the fingers, or even at the time of our leaving our body. What we should understand about Krishna consciousness is that it once we hear from the pure devotee, we are connected. He will take me back to Godhead. But why should I make it difficult for him to do that?
I would like to make one point. Oh, well, I'd like to make one point. It's better to join ISKCON the way it is, hodgepodged up now than joining some, Catholic monastery or something like that. At least here,
At least you got something.
yes, at least you got
Well,
something, right?
Kirtan that doesn't lead you to, that doesn't, the point of the kirtans is not, will they take you to Krishna? That ever, oh, my kirtan is so good, it'll take you to Krishna. That's not the point. Is the kirtan coming from Krishna?
Okay, Saurav Sahu says,
Godhead. Huh?
Saurav Sahu says, but they don't know about Prabhupada. They only know about their initiating guru.
That's the
Well,
problem, huh?
that then they need to be informed that ultimately Prabhupada is their initiating guru, and that they are being tricked right now by people that want to form an organization of their own.
Right.
Yes, this is nice. These are good questions. One second.
Right. Oh, I'd like to read a response. We have some time, so Rupa, I'll take over the host, and I want to read Bashu Ghosh's reply
Okay.
to my message. So 1 second, just hang in there. I'll take over in a few seconds. This is very interesting what Bashu Ghosh replied. I think you read it, Rupa, I think, but I'll
Yeah.
share it with the devotees here. It's very interesting. I asked him that question.
Okay, I
How
made
about-
you the host, Ramachandra.
Okay, 1 second. Narayan Prabhu, are you there? Okay, sure. Let me just log it. Yes, just hang in there.
Bhakta Peter said, it's a shame Vishnu John Swami's album never got officially released like Prabhupada's did.
Whose?
Vishnu John.
Why? Vishnu John was no better than anybody else. He was sort of autistic, and so he was focused on chanting, which was nice. But his chanting was nice, but it wasn't up on the level of Prabhupada's.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Share my screen.
That's what we need to understand. Nobody that was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, including me, could create kirtan that was equal to that of Srila Prabhupada. End of story. Why are we thinking like that, you know?
People like variety, I guess. Yeah.
Variety. What is it? A variety of destinations also.
They like hearing sounds that are not transcendental.
You imagine what Krishna Loca you want, and you go to that one instead of the one that Prabhupada was bringing us to. How many Krishna Lokas are there? One for each Vishnu John and one for each Agni Dev?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point. Okay, we ready for Bashu Ghosh? Narayan Prabhu, you ready? You in your seat?
Basu Ghosh.
Yeah.
All glories to, let's all say together, all glories to Basu Ghosh.
Yeah, all glories to Bashu Ghosh Prabhu.
Can we say that together like a big chant? All
Glories to Bashu Ghosh Prabhu.
Now let's do it like this. All, come on, join me. All
Glories to Bashu Ghosh. Okay, it's gonna cut out if we all speak at once. So let's not make a.
That's a sad thing.
Okay, so I'll play my question and then we will read Bashu Ghosh's reply. It's very interesting what he said. So, I mean,
he's very intelligent.
Maybe too intelligent.
That's a good point, isn't it? If a person is too intelligent, he can't surrender to Krishna.
This is what we hear in his writing. But anyways, let's go here. I asked him a very specific question, so I'll play it here. So here, carefully.
What did you ask him?
So here goes my question to Bashu Ghosh Prabhu.
Okay.
So how would one answer this question? We know every living entity, despite species and body, is a spirit soul. Now, let's take, for example, the human body, the human form of life. I, you, and every living entity in the human form of life, they are pure spirit soul. But what is the difference between us being spirit souls and Srila Prabhupada is also a spirit soul? What is the distinctive difference here and how to understand it?
Okay. Was my
question. Fantastic, brilliant question.
Okay. So Bashu Ghosh Prabhu's reply, it's a little long. Rupa, can you please read, Prabhu?
Sure.
That's long, it's nice.
This can be analyzed in several ways. One way is the Nitya Badha, Nitya Siddha analysis. Sometimes Nitya Siddhas, eternally liberated souls, are sent to uplift the Nitya Badhas. Then there is empowerment. That empowerment given by the Supreme Lord varies from time to time. Our Purva Acharyas believe that Lord Buddha was empowered, just an ordinary jiva. We cannot compare Srila Prabhupada's empowerment to Lord Buddha's. Chaitanya Charitamrita says that without empowerment, one cannot preach Krishna consciousness. You may or may not be aware that in ISKCON, India, there are some youth preachers who seem to be empowered. These few are masters of recruitment, and this is being ignored for the most part by the Western leadership. So we can understand that Srila Prabhupada had special empowerment. That Srila Prabhupada was especially empowered is certainly something special. My own feeling is that it's not a cause for fanaticism to take hold. Srila Prabhupada himself said, "We are not fanatics." Our Purva Acharyas opine that Lord Parashuram was also an empowered jiva. Why should there be a ranking system for jivas who are empowered by Lord Krishna? The four Acharyas, Ramanuja, Madhava, Vishnu Swami, and Nimbarka, are also obviously, just my subjective opinion, empowered. Ramanuja, the younger brother of Lord Ramachandra, believed to be an incarnation of Lakshman, Lakshman is Vishnu Tattva, is beyond empowered, being Vishnu Tattva. The life and activities of Srila Prabhupada were wonderful, remarkable, and glorious, highly exceptional. His lifetime achievements will be glorified for long. But does that mean that there are no more devotees in the world who are preaching the mission of Mahaprabhu in exceptional ways? I don't think so.
Okay. So that was Bashu Ghosh Prabhu's reply. You can see here, he has very intelligently replied to my question, and he gives several ways, he answers it several ways. In one sense, he's saying that, oh, there was Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and he is a liberated soul. There was empowerment by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there are also other people who are empowered, or what does he say here? In the ISKCON, they're empowered to preach Krishna consciousness. Where is it? Masters of recruitment. See here? Some youth preachers who seem to be empowered. So what is he trying to say?
What's the bottom line?
Yeah, what's the what? He doesn't get to the bottom line here. So that's what I wanted to.
Planet Earth.
So this is his understanding. I asked him specifically, what is the difference between, the jivas, which we all are, and Srila Prabhupada being also a jiva. So he gives a kind of roundabout answer, which doesn't make any sense,
And I don't know if I agree that Prabhupada was empowered. I think Krishna sent Srila Prabhupada. That's different from being an empowered jiva.
Yeah, because Prabhupada is as empowered as Krishna, being part and parcel of Krishna, Uttamatnakari, transparent via medium, descended to planet Earth, fully empowered by Krishna, not by some magical rituals here on Earth.
Yeah.
So he made, if you don't mind my interjecting on one point, he made, I felt, to be operatic statements about Lord Buddha, about Parsuram, because they are all Dasa avatars. They're all incarnations of Krishna. Where can they be made into ordinary men? Where can they into, he seemed to have tried to take the Dasa avatar and turn them into do-it-yourself agents.
Yeah, so his analysis or his understanding doesn't really make sense to me. The Uttama Adhikari, sent from Krishna Loca to preach Krishna consciousness,
Yes.
becomes empowered when he's 26. Or, right? It doesn't make any sense. No, I'm saying this is the way he's thinking.
He descends from Krishna Loca.
Yes, he's thinking that Srila Prabhupada, being an acharya, he became an acharya at a certain time. Before that, he was not an acharya, meaning that's what he's trying to say here. And then
So
there's
what happened? Srila Prabhupada took a smart pill and became an acharya?
yeah, that's what he's saying here. He has a roundabout understanding about this. The founder acharya of ISKCON, and there's now the youth who are the next masters of recruitment. And I highlighted that part. So
the youth come and recruit. And to whom do they, if a youth go out and recruit, that's nice. That's what Prabhupada told the youth to do, preaching.
yeah.
Now, when they bring people back to the temple that they recruited and convinced in the field, oh, yes, you must surrender to Krishna. And the person in the field says, wow, that's exactly what I'm prepared to do right now. So they come back to the temple, and then what?
They sign up with some devotee like Gopal Krishna Swami, Radhanath Swami, Lokanath Swami, Jai Pataka Swami.
How do you convince a sincere person that those people are the people to surrender to instead of Prabhupada?
Yeah. This is what's happening. Or Bhakti Vikas Swami. So the masters.
They're busy doing a thing, I would say they are like goalposts that are in the ground, and people can go to them or not go to them or whatever, but then that's not the point. The point is for each person to surrender to Prabhupada.
Yeah, so they recruit people and they bring them to their temple, they give them some facility, and they sign them up with one of them gurus that have been appointed by the so-called GBC. That's how it works.
Prabhupada said to Srila Sarupananda was, I don't object to your followers or disciples considering you their spiritual master. If he considers me his spiritual master, and you consider Srila Sarup to be your spiritual master, the end result will be the same.
Well, you can argue, or you can say that the ISKCON appointed gurus are similarly saying the same thing.
Are they? Because they're not surrendered to Prabhupada. Small detail.
Small detail, yeah. So how can one make a distinction that, you say the Sarup version and their version?
Let's say Bhakti Vikas. He said, I have initiated all of you, but I am not actually your guru. I am surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. He is my guru, and if you love me as your guru, then accept Prabhupada is my guru, and his standard must be followed, not mine.
I don't think they say like this, or they don't.
They don't say that, no, because they don't intend to say that. They want to be independently powerful.
Yeah, there was a video of Bir Krishna when he was in Sacramento. He said, I am acting as a bona fide guru. And before that, he said, one should make their life's goal to bring people to Krishna consciousness. And then he said, then I'm acting as a bona fide guru.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
saying,
then you can say, okay, dear Krishna, if you're acting as a bona fide guru, who is the bona fide guru of whom you are serving.
I'll pull up the video here so you guys can see.
Who is the guru? You see,
Yeah.
if you're, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
So if he's acting as a guru, fine. What is he doing with his disciples? Is he bringing them to Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet?
No, he's bringing them to his lotus feet, obviously.
Yeah. And that's not acceptable, is it?
No.
If the Siddha Sarup example, which is interesting because it touches on everything that's happening. Siddha Sarup Prabhupada said, if his disciples are surrendered to him and he's surrendered to me, then it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Because they want to become Krishna conscious according to the standard of their spiritual master, and their spiritual master says, I am surrendered to Bhaktivedanta Swami. So where are they going to go from there? If Siddha Sarup fell down or something, then all the disciples could say, we want to be disciples of Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, we have 2 minutes left.
Right.
Okay. So anyhow, do you see, Ramachandra, we're trying to get off the horizontal platform.
Yeah. All right. So let me see if there's any more questions and then we'll
Let's try for the questions.
see here. YouTube.
But with the answers we gave to the questions.
Well, would like to thank our viewers for watching. Please feel free to join the group to make your comments.
Yeah, just whether the comment about your question is satisfactory or not.
Right.
Easy enough for us to say something, but if it doesn't relate to what you were questioning, then what's the point of it?
Yes. Okay, so we have, let's see. Okay, where are you? So I'll just run off the comments. Saurabh Sahu Prabhu is saying, but they don't know about Prabhupada. They only know about the initiating gurus. Okay, we read that comment. I want to ask something to Narayan Prabhu.
Yeah,
Did Prabhupada...
The initiating gurus were initiated by Prabhupada or somebody that was initiated by Prabhupada.
Okay.
So you say you don't know about the initiating gurus. Well, you have to go up the line and find out who initiated them.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Then Saurabh Sahu Prabhu is saying, we'll answer this question in the next video. It's a long one. I want to ask something to Narayan Prabhu. Did Prabhupada really poisoned? Was it a conspiracy or was it true? Then Saurabh Sahu Prabhu is saying, there are many MC Yogi, Mayapuri, they all love rock and roll kirtans. And then Saurabh Sahu Prabhu is saying, yes, there was such a prediction by Lord Chaitanya that his Senapati Bhakta will come. Only he will be able to spread his Sankirtan movement by looking all activity. It looked like Prabhupada actually did that. Actually,
I don't know about that. Do you know about that?
no idea. Then Saurabh Sahu Prabhu saying, person, so he is from Krishna Loca.
Prabhupada is from Krishna Loca.
Yes.
Yes, that's the main point.
Prabhupada is the biggest thing happened in recent ages because by these predictions, it's clear he is the representative of Lord.
Yeah. Well, in recent times, we have to say recent times going back at least 5,000 years.
Okay. And then Om Senapati Prabhu or someone, you are missing the essence of Vedas. Okay. So we're at 10 o'clock. We have to.
What is he saying? What part of the Vedas are we missing the essence of?
I'm not really sure. We'll have to.
He He didn't go further.
Yeah, he did not go further. Surf
Okay,
Sahu Prabhu.
Go further.
Yes, please join us next time. We'll answer we'll go over your so-called question about
With you in
poison.
Jiva, our conversations here are jiva to jiva, not according to body, not according to karma, not according to wealth, but just jiva, meaning pure spirit soul to pure spirit soul. That's all we're doing. And if you don't, you'll experience transcendental ecstasy.
Do you want to mention something about Achyutanandana Prabhu, what we discussed, or no?
Oh, well, yeah, Achyutananda, in my opinion, has done so much harm to the Krishna consciousness movement in Prabhupada's kirtans. And to get, as a simple example, Agni Dev came with kirtan.
No. This is in regards to what you said in the program the other day.
Yeah, no, I'm getting there.
Okay.
So is that the Agni Dev came with the Achyutananda kirtans, which apparently have become super popular on recordings from the stratosphere. But what I was trying to say is, I never intended to suggest that anyone should do any harm to Kirtananda. I mean, to and why? Any harm that should have been done in 1950, not now. You could have stopped the whole thing at that time, but now it's ridiculous. Does anyone know how old Achyutananda is?
I think it's about your age, 72, 73.
Okay, so we don't know how old he's going to live, to 100, to 120, but whatever he lives to, he will be facing the court of Yamaraj. And there's nothing I want to do to get involved in that process.
Okay.
So to accelerate or decelerate the court, his
Not up to you to do anything. It's up
not
to
up to me. It's up to you to live out as long as he can. Either he dies of old age at 95 or he gets hit by a car now. Who knows, It's not my business to deal with his lifespan.
Okay, so we'll end it here. Prabhus, thank you very much for watching. All the devotees online on Facebook and YouTube and all the viewers here.
Right.
Hare Krishna. Have faith in Prabhupada. Krishna's
Hare
real.
Krishna. Jai. Excellent.
What was that? Was that Robert?
Yes.
What did he say?
Have faith in Srila Prabhupada.
Faith in Srila Prabhupada?